Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have the next Pat McGrath palette here for you. This is the Platinum Bronze palette, and we're going to be doing some swatching, a demo, a review, you know the drill. I'm not going to bore you anymore with the intro. So if you're interested in this palette, hearing my thoughts on it, all that kind of good stuff, then just keep on watching. Let's just jump right into the palette. I don't want to bore you too much with the stats since I kind of went over a lot of the stuff with the Bronze Ambition video yesterday, but this is $55. I purchased this one off of the Pat McGrath site. You can also find it off of Sephora. And then just a quick note about the packaging. It is in this cardboard box. It does have this button rubber band kind of closure here. What I didn't mention in yesterday's video is that this is magnetized. So you're not kind of fully dependent on this guy, which will probably break eventually. But not much else to note. This is, like I said, cardboard. There's a big mirror inside, and then there's like a plastic framing around the 6 pans. So I have also the Mothership Subliminal palette. This was the #1 palette, and it comes in this outer box, and then it has this big plastic packaging around the shadows. But I just wanted to bring this out so we can do a little comparison of these 6 shadows here, the 6 shadows in here. And these don't look that similar to me. With the Bronze Ambition and the Sublime palette, I thought that there was a little bit more similarity between the two. So I only see 1 shade similarity in there, so when we do swatches, I will do a comparison swatch of that shade for you. So let's get into swatches. I'm going to start with the top row here. This is Platinize, Smoke and Mirrors, and Telepathic Taupe. So here are those shades. Really, really beautiful, very pigmented, no surprise there. And let me do this second row. We have Deep Velvet, Ritualistic, and Extrovert. So Deep Velvet, which is the 1 matte in here, Ritualistic, and Sextrovert. Sextrovert. So there was 1 shade in the original Subliminal palette that I thought looked similar to one of the shades in this new Platinum Bronze palette, and it is this Substance shade right over here, and it looked very similar to me to the Smoke and Mirrors shade, which is this shade right here. So let me go ahead and swatch this one right next to it. I mean, immediately it is very, very different. It's much cooler, it's much darker and deeper. And while they look similar in the pan, they really don't swatch similarly at all. I should mention that these palettes are limited edition. I don't think I realized that. I thought that they were part of her permanent line, but they are limited edition. And this particular palette, the Platinum Bronze palette, I find to be much more everyday and neutral. And I'm sure you can see it here, right here in the pan. You can also see it on my arm. The Bronze Ambition palette was much brighter, warmer, much more metallic. The finish I find in these shadows, while there's only 1 matte shade, this shade right over here, the rest are shimmery, but I don't find them quite as metallic as the Bronze Ambition. These, I don't know, these kind of skirt the line between like satin and metallic versus being like full-on metallic or micro glittery or anything like that. So this one is definitely much more subdued. And while I think I like them equally, they both perform really well. They're just beautiful shadows. I have a feeling I'm going to be reaching for this one much more often just because, again, it's just more neutral. So no surprise here, I absolutely love, love, love this palette. It's beautiful. I think the quality of the shadows are really, really great. The 1 shade that surprised me, only in color, is this one down here, this Ritualistic color. Doesn't it look like this nice, pretty, shimmery, kind of like lilac color? When you put it on the eyes, I think even more so than the swatch, do you see how dark it is? When you put it on the eyes, the black kind of undertone to the powder really comes out. So that was really surprising. not necessarily in a bad way, just completely unexpected. But that's the only shadow I found that kind of swatched very differently from how it appeared, at least to me. But they're beautiful, just like the Bronze Ambition palette, just like her original Mothership palettes. These shadows are they're just glorious. They just, like I keep saying, they just blend beautifully. They have a ton of pigmentation. They're just gorgeous. They stay on the lids. They don't do anything funky with me. And again, I did not experience any fallout. I just think that they're amazing. So if you're interested in seeing my demo for this eye look, then just keep on watching. So I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Worker 1 brush, and I'm gonna go right into this shade Ritualistic, which is this one here. And I'm gonna start with that on the outer corner and build in. This color is a mysterious one. It has a very, very kind of dark base to it, darker than how it appears in the pan. So it's very interesting. I think you can probably see what I mean. You know, it has like almost like a purpley taupe appearance in the pan, but on the eye it almost looks like it's like a smoky granite color. Really pretty. I'm gonna put this all over the lid since I want to do kind of a smoky eye look. I'm going to take my Tom Ford number 13 blender brush, and I'm going to go into this dark matte color here, and I'm going to use it very lightly just to kind of blend out the top edge there. So just a little bit on the brush. Now I'm going to add a little bit more dimension here. I'm going to go in with this color Platinize. And I'm actually going to use one of the new Sonia G brushes. This is Builder 2. I am going to pack that onto the brush here, and then I want to focus that on the center of my lid. And I'm just taking the tip of this brush and kind of blending the edges of it out a little bit just to soften it, soften the transition between this bright color in the middle and the dark color underneath. I'm going to use that Builder 2 brush again, and I'm going to go into Telepathic Taupe, which is this shade over here, and I'm going to just use that a little bit to soften the outer edge of this light color and have it blend a little bit more easily into the dark shade underneath. I'm going to take my Tom Ford 13 brush again, and I'm going to go back into Ritualistic and deepen up the outer corners of my eyes again, kind of build that back up. I'm going to take my Sonia G Pencil 1 brush, go back into Platinize, which is that lightest shimmery shade, and just use that to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. So I'm going back into Ritualistic with my Pencil 1 brush, and I'm going to line the outer corners of my eyes, and then the inside. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to wipe off this brush a bit, back into Platinize, which is that light color over here, and I'm going to line the center of my lower lash line. I think I need to do the same thing with Ritualistic on my upper lash line. I'm going to line my upper lash line on the insides and the outsides with this Ritualistic color. So I guess I ended up kind of doing a halo eye. Is this what a halo eye is, when it's like light in the middle? I'm not even exactly sure, but anyway. I'm really loving this look. Let me go off camera and finish up the rest of my face, and I will be right back. So here is my final look. I just added a little bit of contour, mascara. Lipstick that I used is a mix between the Lust Angeles from Pat McGrath and the Madame Grige lipstick from Pat McGrath. I thought that these worked really, really well with this particular palette, being that it's kind of cool, kind of neutral, and I don't know, I just really love the pairing. Anyway, no surprise again, 2 big thumbs up for this palette. I really, really love it. If you're looking for a way to kind of dip your toe into Pat McGrath shadows, the original motherships were too expensive, and you think maybe the colors for some of them are just a little bit too funky, I think you would really like this Platinum Bronze palette. It's very neutral, it's very everyday, and I think that even though they're metallic and shimmery, they're not super duper bright. So I really like that. I really appreciate it, especially for this palette. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I'll see you in my next video.